I've been Rick wrecked, and here's why. My standards for my friendships have reached new heights. Imagine reading about Annabeth and Grover, or Samira, Hearth, Blitz, and Alex, and having the same standard for your friends that you had before going into those books. Yeah, no, ain't gonna cut it. Oh, you would never fight monsters alongside me? Bye. So you're saying that you can't keep me in line like Annabeth Chase could? I'll see ya! Camping isn't as fun of a concept after reading about Camp Half-Blood. You want me to go to a campsite, sleep in a tent, and sing Kumbaya around the fire? Instead of arriving at a campsite and being told I'm a demigod, making friends with other half-bloods and getting to room with them in cabins, I won't get to train or play capture the flag. I'm just gonna get bit by mosquitoes and hope that I don't get eaten by a bear in the night. Hard pass. I'll never look at blue foods the same. Percy Jackson is a blue food influencer. No lies detected. I'm walking through a store, minding my own business. I see blue-colored icing cupcakes. Where does my mind go? Well, first I'm like, bruh, that'll turn my tongue blue. But then it goes, Percy Jackson. I see some blueberries. Percy Jackson. I see blue popsicles. Percy Jackson. You see the trend here? My mind has been Percy plagued. The fact that I'll never get to live at Hotel Valhalla. You know how aggravating it is to read about Hotel Valhalla and having it sink in that you'll never be able to live in a place as cool? It's aggravating, in all caps. Don't get me wrong, Magnus deserves the luxurious room he gets, but Magnus, my friend, my buddy, old pal. I'm over here investing some of my life in reading about your fictional life, so the least you could do is let me crash at your place a few days, or even my lifetime. Are you listening to me? Hello? Magnus? Is that too much to ask of him? I want a room with a sauna, a flippin' king-sized bed, 6 different gaming systems, even though we all know that my eyes would be locked on his glorious bookshelves. Not me being jealous of a fictional character. But Magnus hasn't made at Hotel Valhalla, that's for sure. The fact that talking in bad haikus isn't accepted in the real world. Apollo might be the master of bad haikus, but it doesn't mean that spewing out your own bad haikus in public is socially acceptable. And that is just unfair. You know how many bad haikus I have inside of me? Way too many. It's a problem. Might need to go get a DNA test because I could potentially be related to Apollo. What you're saying is, I can't talk like this outside or I will be judged? Ugh, that is not fair. I have to find a way to live a haiku life. Don't mind me just out here giving Apollo a run for his money with my own terrible haikus. I'll never get to go on an adventure as thrilling as the ones we see in the books. It's just straight facts. I'd love to be alongside Annabeth, Percy, Grover, wilding out. I want to be stuck with Apollo and hear his terrible haikus all the livelong day. Wait, do I really want that? Yeah, I want that. I think I want that. I want a haiku battle, that's what I want. Come at him with my own horrific haikus. Not that many of their adventures are that desirable to me now that I think about it, because most of the time they're fighting off monsters. So yeah, now that I've thought about it, I think I'd rather just read about their adventures than actually go on a thrilling adventure like theirs, because I'd probably die, and I don't want that. I want to keep reading for as long as I can, and I can't die battling monsters, because that would mean no more books for me, knowing that I'll never have abilities like some of the characters. This is me reading any book with some kind of character that has some kind of ability or magical powers. I'm over here thirsty for some powers, and the truth is I'll never get a sip of them. None of us will. And that's a hard truth to take. Like, shoot, I want to be able to manipulate water like Percy. Do I have a reason for wanting to manipulate water? Nope, but it'd still be heckin' dope. I'd also love to be able to shapeshift like Samira. Why, you ask? Because when I'm tired of looking at this face in the mirror, I can shift into something more interesting. Magnus being immune to temperature? Back at it again with the Magnus jealousy. Magnus can basically be surrounded by fire and basically be like, does somebody smell anything? Smells kinda smoky. The audacity for me to be born in this world without powers. I hate it here. I know more about random mythologies than I probably should. Greek mythology? Check. Norse mythology? Check. Egyptian mythology? Check. And then throughout the Read, Write, Orden imprint, we've seen so many other mythologies being explored. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. Thank you, Rick Riordan, for the mythology crash courses I didn't know I needed. I know all sorts of random facts to bring up in conversations now. Love that for me. Life would be better with a talking object. You can't tell me that life wouldn't be 10 times more interesting with a sassy talking sword by your side. I need my own Jack the Sword from the Magnus Chase series. What would I need the sword for? So I can have somebody to talk to. Duh. I'll never read a book with better chapter titles. Y'all know I'm not wrong about this. I remember that being the thing that completely caught me off guard when I first started reading Rick's books. Like, yes, the content of the story is already highly entertaining, but he went a step further and was like,
let me just make all my chapter titles equally as entertaining as the story itself.
No matter how much I prepare myself for a Rick book, I'm still hit over the head with his plot twist and cliffhangers. You go in thinking you're prepared. You think the mental prep you did before going into the book will protect you, and then you're in it. You're in the thick of the plot. And Rick comes through, and what what does he do? He pulls the rug out from underneath you, and you're in full-on shambles, trying to find your way out of the messiness that the plot twist just made you experience. On the other hand, you've reached the end of the book. You've only got a few pages left, and without realizing it, Rick has pushed you to the edge of a cliff. You read that last line, and what has he done? That thing he always does. Delivers a cliffhanger that leaves you bitter, but also makes you desperate to get your hands on the next book to clear things up. I've been Rick wrecked. The attachment to the cast of characters. How does it feel to walk around the world without having these characters live in your head? I wouldn't know what that's like, because they're living rent-free in my mind. I'm in a random situation that has nothing to do with these books, and my mind is over here like, what would Percy do? Even picking out a book, I'm like, I wonder what Magnus would pick. Which book would Annabeth be in the mood for? Which book cover would Blitzen think is the most aesthetic? The fact that I put off reading Rick's books because I know that once I read them, I'll never get to read them for the first time ever again. Y'all make fun of me all the time for being behind on Rick's books, but the tea is, I still get the chance to experience them for the first time, and you don't. So who's the winner here? It's you. I'm trash. I need to read them. I'm the one missing out, but I don't want them to end ever, and once I start reading them, the end is near, my friends. Constantly wondering if this is all real and I'm just not able to see through the mist because I'm a basic, average boy. And that's how Rick Riordan's books have wrecked me, in the best way possible. I've been Rick wrecked, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you all for watching this video. It's being sponsored by Disney Book Group in celebration of the release of the last book in the Trials of Apollo series, dropping October 6th, and it's called The Tower of Nero. Here's the cover right here in all its gloriousness. It's time to get prepped for its release and binge the series. I'm forever behind, so we'll see if I can make it. A boy can dream, right? Yes, he can. Doesn't mean his dream's gonna become a reality, but I will eventually get to this book and I will love it. I know I will, and I'm sure it will wreck me, as you've seen all the receipts as to how Rick's books have wrecked me. If you don't know anything about the Trials of Apollo series, let me fill you in a little bit. Obviously, we are following our main character, Apollo, who is downright hilarious and one of my all-time favorite Rick Riordan characters. In the series, we follow him as he goes from arrogant god to hapless human, and he's now on the quest to restore 5 ancient oracles and go up against evil Roman emperors in order to regain his place in Mount Olympus. The series contains Book 1, The Hidden Oracle, Book 2, The Dark Prophecy, Book 3, The Burning Maze, Book 4, The Tyrant's Tomb, and finally Book 5, The Tower of Nero, coming out again on October 6th. So soon! More information on it down below in the description and where you can pre-order it. My favorite thing about Apollo is his haikus, if you couldn't tell. I'm a big fan of him constantly spitting out these horrible haikus. So bad, yet so good. Like, I'm waiting for him to drop a haiku collection. Let me know down below in the comments ways in which Rick Riordan's books have kind of shaped your reading, because I definitely feel like I go into books differently after having read his series, because he just delivers greatness. I know for me, he's definitely made me crave certain things when going into a book now. Like, I know that I joke about his plot twist and his cliffhangers, but honestly, I also love that about his books. I love his shock factor, and I kind of crave that in a lot of the books that I go into these days. So let me know down below in the comments all your thoughts. If you like this video, be sure to go and hit that like button. If you want to see more bookish content from me, be sure to go and hit subscribe or go and hit that bell icon and you'll be notified every time I post new videos. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope your day is bright, that tomorrow is brighter. Keep reading what your heart desires, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye-oh!